Why is Lyme disease so difficult to treat? And what can we do about it if we have Lyme disease, knowing that it's so difficult to treat for most doctors? Let's talk about it. Hey, by the way, my name is Ryan Kearns. Lyme disease was attacking my heart. I thought I might die. There were some serious complications going on with vertigo and dizzy spells and neurological disorders, and I was fainting. And I ended up healing myself holistically over a period of about 90 days. And a lot of people are scared for their health right now, and I don't want you to be one of them. So that's why I created this channel. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and let's talk about today's topic. So listen, maybe you tried antibiotics, maybe you visited a doctor, maybe you visited multiple doctors, and you're just finding it so difficult to treat Lyme disease. Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. The first reason is that Lyme disease is focused in areas, right? So Lyme disease in New Jersey is not the same as Lyme disease in Texas, which is not the same as Lyme disease in Florida. Lyme disease is different based on where you live and where you contracted the disease, okay? And the infection really changes itself depending on where it lives, depending on what host it lives in, depending on so many different factors. So the organism itself, the microbe that is infecting our body, is known as Borrelia burgdorferi, but there's also some co-infections that go along with it. And depending on where you are in the world, it's going to be completely different than somebody else who's somewhere else in the world. And so that's the first reason why Lyme disease is so difficult to treat. It's because it's different everywhere it is. So if your doctor is not specialized in the Lyme disease that exists in this area, then it may not be very helpful. But as we're soon going to talk about, that won't really solve the issue either. So let's go a step further. Well, Lyme disease is different based on your specific body, okay? So when the microbe is about to enter your bloodstream, it does something absolutely amazing. It detects the blood first, and then it changes its genomic structure before entering your body. That's right. It takes certain genes out, puts certain genes in to make sure that it can go unnoticed by the immune system. Okay, so it's basically the sneakiest little con man of a microbe that can sneak through, change itself to match up with the immune system so that it can go undetected and it can live within the body without being absolutely destroyed by our white blood cells in our immune system. When it does that, it changes for your specific body. And so it will be different between when it enters you versus when it enters a white-tailed deer, for example, or when it enters a whitefoot mouse. I don't know why I keep picking things with white body parts, but that is what is going to be different. But also, it's different between me and you and the next person, and John and Joe and Lisa, right? It's different between each and every individual, not just different species, but actually different people, because we all have different genes and different immune systems. So we have different factors going on inside of our body, and we're not all the same. So the microbes change themselves in order to deal with your specific body, and that makes it twice as hard, if not more, to actually treat Lyme disease. And as if that doesn't make it hard enough, the third and final thing is that Lyme microbes are constantly changing. So if your body starts to change, and let's say you start to adapt and you start to live a healthy lifestyle, start to eat healthy foods and start to use different herbs, or you're starting to do things to try to get better, these microbes are so smart that they will actually adapt and change their genomic structure again in order to survive for longer inside the body. Now, the truth is, these microbes have been on Earth for much longer than human beings. They've been on Earth for tens of millions of years, and they are just absolutely amazing creatures, I was going to say, but they're microbes. They're tiny little things. You can only see them in a microscope, but they are just so smart and powerful beyond measure of other types of spirochete microbes or other types of microbes in general. they know how to change themselves, go undetected, become the stealthy con man microbe that can go through the body without being seen, without being detected, without being killed by antibiotics, without being killed by certain plants, and without being really fought off by our immune system. Okay, so we have to do things in order to focus the treatment in a different way. Now, how do we do that? Well, we start with an approach that is proven and based on science. We start on this approach that has the widest net, if you will, of people that it helps. Okay, so for example, there's an herb that helps around 60% of patients with Lyme disease. So that's the one we start with because it has the highest success rate. We also introduce other herbs along the route, and we say, you know, this one will probably help, this will probably help you, this will probably help you. And we see what works and what doesn't work, and we adjust accordingly as we go for your specific body and your specific microbe. Okay, and what we want to do is reach a state of homeostasis where we feel good, where our body is functioning properly, and where we can actually handle the infection that's inside of our body. So what we do is we, again, start with a base amount of a certain herb, and then we adjust accordingly based on the results that we're seeing within our body and based on what we think the microbes are doing. So we are actually reacting to them, okay? And that is why it's so important to work with a Lyme disease specialist rather than just any old doctor. The reason is any old doctor will just throw antibiotics at whatever it is and just move forward from there, not really looking to go any further or checking in to see what the microbes are doing next, because they don't even think about the microbes. They just think, kill those microbes, here's some antibiotics, right? But people who are specialized in Lyme disease like myself, we know that the Lyme microbes change as they go along. So whatever we hit it with something, it's gonna do something different. We have to try to anticipate, but also to read what is going on inside of the person's body and help them in that specific stage with what that microbe is doing that day, that week, that month, and then continue from there until all of the symptoms are gone. And that is how we treat Lyme disease with a natural, holistic approach that takes the whole individual into account, takes the Lyme disease microbe's ability to adapt and change into account, and uses powerful plants and herbs in order to heal. Okay, and that's when it comes to herbs. We also like to tackle this problem with a nutrition plan that will absolutely change the game, because when you use nutrition to heal the body, you're using what you already do, right? We all eat 1 to 3 times per day, most of us, and some of us fast every now and then, but for the most part, we eat a ton, and we do it consistently, day after day, week after week, month after month. So to think that that would not have an effect on the body and the healing process is absolutely naive and ridiculous. We have to use every single angle that we can if we want to heal the body to its full capacity, feel like ourselves again, get back our health, and become truly vibrantly healthy. So hopefully this video helps you out and gets you to start to think about why it's so hard to treat Lyme disease and what you can actually do today in order to start healing the body. And if you haven't already, smack that subscribe button, and also comment below. Do you have any questions? What do you think about treating Lyme disease? How has Lyme disease affected you in your life? I like to open up the discussion about this because the more we talk about it, the more people will know about it, and the more people that know about it, the better we get at beating this thing. Okay, so go ahead, comment below. Let's open up a discussion. I know a lot of other people on YouTube they turn the comments off. I don't believe in that. If you want to say negative things, go ahead, do it in the comment section. If you want to say nice things, go ahead, say it in the comment section. Or if you just want to lend a helping hand to another individual who's suffering from Lyme disease, and you also don't want to see people be scared about their health, and you don't want people to suffer through endless amounts of pain and suffering, I suggest you comment below. Tell us your story. The more we share our stories, the better the world will be. So hopefully this video helps you out, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.